Hello all, Onigato here for Oni in the Garden, and we're going to start over with the raised bed and the muskmelons in the corner. So as you can see, all sorts of things growing, falling, growing, falling, growing and falling all over the place. Over on this side, we've been getting rain for the last 2 weeks, pretty much solid. And it's just been nearly impossible to get out here and spray down for aphids or anything. One thing that I did do is this particular squash was looking kind of, the root base was starting to get the chewed look, but it was also throwing kind of a root. The stem was throwing roots, but it was also looking chewed. So I basically covered it with mulch. Hopefully that'll help it a little bit. It still looks pretty healthy, so that's good. We've got another squash coming up right over here, which is kind of nice. And I can see muskmelons down in there. All over the place, actually. See some right over there. And I can see the peas aren't doing terrific, but they aren't dead yet. So that's good. I've propped them up because when they lay on the ground, the leaves get chewed up pretty hard by something in the soil itself. So this is actually looking almost like a shop of horror type thing. I've got dead branches everywhere, just kind of hanging down, making a mess. Down here, I've got another one of the butternut squash that has gotten long, which is okay. They like to come out a little bit. And then over here, let's see, right there, muskmelons, 2 of them. Looks like they've both taken. And as I come up and around, right there, muskmelon, nice big one. So that's really nice. Temperatures have definitely been dropped significantly the last 2 weeks just because of all of the rain. Central Texas is getting a lot of it right now. The tomato, I've been getting a lot of, let's see if I can spot one. Yeah, we'll pull this right here. It's not a perfect example, but it's a pretty close one. That right there is a tomato. That's all the bigger than most of the ones I've ever been getting. They ripen, they taste like tomatoes, they're pretty decent, but that's all they've been doing for me. So yeah, I've rearranged the plant a little bit so that it would actually bush up and over against this area here, mostly so that it has some vertical stance. It droops down, and then you can see stuff like this here. It's drooped down, and then it's come way back up. So, because it likes to be growing upwards, but it just gets so heavy that it ends up going back down. I do see some very nice flower pods now, and the temperatures are more reasonable. We're talking low 90s on the highs. So here we have the asparagus fronds, and they're looking very nice. I will end up transplanting those out eventually, probably sometime around March, maybe April. In the cage, kind of hard to see it, but there's catnip in there. And the cage is because there's cats in the neighborhood. So, yeah, this has kept the cats away from the catnip and allowed the plants to grow. They had gotten hit pretty hard a couple of times, and it was definitely cats. You could tell that had gotten into it, not some other vermin. The strawberry bed over here, they're throwing lots and lots of runners. I should have an entire bed of strawberries shortly. And my radishes are growing out very, very nicely. I should have some harvestable ones fairly soon. Because the temperatures have been nice and low and we've been getting tons and tons and tons of rain, I have over basically every single square millimeter of this plant. Well, okay, not that many, but I do have, on any given plant, I have probably dozens of pods that are just starting to come up. You can see this one here. I've got one here. And if I take a look at it, that's a pepper. That's a confirmable, verifiably pepper. So they're finally producing after only, what, 6 months? Over down here, this particular strawberry pot, I'm training the runners around so that all the entries are filled. What was a strawberry here is now a basil, self-sown, and it's been nice and cool, so it's coming up very well. I've got a carrot in here, so we'll see what happens with that. 2 weeks, 2 very solid weeks of rain, and you can see what has happened to the lawn. It is, in places, it's knee deep on me, so it's definitely in need of a mow. In some areas I'm not going to do as much of a mow, but I'm going to get most of it, honestly. The lawn was looking very dead. You can kind of see the remnants here where it's just gone patchy. But, you know, things are coming along nicely in some places. The apple tree, all of that's new growth, and that's a good, well spread hand worth of growth. I don't see any sign of aphid in there, but I will be spraying it shortly. I had a couple of things come up that we're really surprised by. A pair of, I think they're called spider orchids. No idea. Those have come up. We've had some blood lilies come up in the back. We knew those were there, but you know, they take a lot of rain to come in. And yeah, it's just kind of going. Talk to y'all later.